Our planet teems with life. From the tiniest bacteria to the largest whales, life exists in a dazzling array of forms. Each species has its own unique story, a journey through evolutionary time. Think about the intricate dance of a bee collecting pollen, the silent growth of a towering redwood, or the complex social structure of an ant colony. The diversity of life is breathtaking. To understand this vast and interconnected web of life, we need a system. It's like trying to navigate a giant library without a catalog. Scientists have developed a way to classify or organize living organisms based on their shared characteristics. This system helps us make sense of the incredible biodiversity on Earth. This classification system is not just about putting things in neat boxes, it's about understanding the relationships between different organisms. It helps us trace the evolutionary journey of life on Earth. By studying these relationships, we gain a deeper appreciation for the interconnectedness of all living things. Imagine a giant tapestry woven with threads of every color and texture. That's what the diversity of life looks like. Classification is like finding the patterns in this tapestry. We group similar organisms together based on their shared traits. These traits can be physical, like the number of legs or the presence of wings. They can also be based on DNA, the blueprint of life. Scientists use a hierarchical system for classification. Think of it like organizing books in a library. We start with broad categories and get more specific as we go down. This system allows us to see the big picture of life on Earth. It also lets us zoom in on the details of individual species. Classification is crucial for understanding biodiversity. It helps us track the number and types of species in different environments. This information is vital for conservation efforts. By understanding which species are threatened, we can develop strategies to protect them. At the highest level of classification, life is divided into 3 domains: bacteria, archaea, and eukarya. Think of these as the 3 main branches of the tree of life. These domains represent the most fundamental divisions of life based on cellular structure. Bacteria are single-celled organisms found everywhere on Earth. They are incredibly adaptable and play essential roles in nutrient cycling and decomposition. Think of the bacteria that help us digest food or the ones used to make yogurt. Archaea are also single-celled organisms, but they have unique characteristics that set them apart from bacteria. They are often found in extreme environments like hot springs and deep-sea vents. These extremophiles have adapted to thrive in conditions that would be deadly to most other life forms. Eukarya is the domain that includes all organisms with cells that have a nucleus. This includes everything from microscopic protists to giant sequoia trees and humans. Eukaryotic cells are more complex than prokaryotic cells, which lack a nucleus. Section 4. Eukarya's kingdoms, familiar faces. Within the domain Eukarya, life is further divided into 4 kingdoms: Protista, Plantae, Fungi, and Animalia. These kingdoms represent the major lineages of eukaryotic life that have evolved over millions of years. Each kingdom has its own unique set of characteristics that define its members. Protists are a diverse group of mostly single-celled organisms. They include algae, amoebas, and slime molds. Protists are often overlooked, but they play vital roles in aquatic ecosystems as primary producers and decomposers. Plantae, the plant kingdom, includes all the trees, flowers, and ferns that make our planet green. Plants are essential for life on Earth. They produce oxygen through photosynthesis, provide food and habitat for countless species, and play a crucial role in regulating the climate. Fungi, the kingdom of mushrooms, molds, and yeasts, are decomposers. They break down dead organic matter and recycle nutrients back into the ecosystem. Fungi also form important symbiotic relationships with plants, helping them absorb nutrients from the soil. Animalia, the animal kingdom, is the most diverse group of eukaryotes. Animals are multicellular organisms that obtain nutrients by consuming other organisms. They range in size from microscopic tardigrades to enormous blue whales. Section 5. From domain to species, a family affair. The classification system is hierarchical, meaning it's organized like a family tree. The broadest category, domain, is like the trunk of the tree. As we move down the hierarchy, the categories become more specific, like branches getting smaller and smaller. Domain, the highest level, like the trunk of the tree of life. Kingdom, major branches like dividing all the books in a library into fiction and non-fiction. Phylum, smaller branches like grouping all the mystery novels together. Class, Even smaller branches like separating hard-boiled detective novels from cozy mysteries. Order twigs on a branch like grouping all the Agatha Christie novels together. Family, a cluster of leaves, like separating all the Hercule Poirot novels. Genus, a single leaf like identifying a specific book, the mysterious affair it styles. Species, the most specific level, like a particular edition of the book. For example, humans belong to the domain Eukarya, the kingdom Animalia, the phylum Chordata, the class Mammalia, the order Primates, the family Hominidae, the genus Homo, and the species Sapiens. The scientific name of a species, like Homo sapiens for humans, is always written in italics with the genus capitalized and the species lowercase. This binomial nomenclature developed by Carl Linnaeus provides a universal language for scientists to communicate about species. Section 6. Reading the Book of Life. The classification of life is an ongoing process. As scientists discover new species and learn more about the relationships between existing ones, the tree of life is constantly being revised and updated. New tools like DNA analysis have revolutionized our understanding of the evolutionary relationships between organisms. For example, discoveries in molecular biology have shown that some organisms, once thought to be closely related based on physical characteristics, are actually quite distantly related genetically. This has led to significant revisions in the tree of life, demonstrating the dynamic nature of scientific understanding. Understanding the classification of life is like being able to read the book of life. It allows us to trace the evolutionary history of species, understand the relationships between them, and appreciate the incredible diversity of life on our planet. Section 7. Guardians of the Tree. As we continue to explore the tree of life, we must also recognize our responsibility to protect it. Human activities are driving an unprecedented loss of biodiversity, pushing many species towards extinction. Classification plays a crucial role in conservation efforts by helping us identify and prioritize species most at risk. By understanding the relationships between organisms, we can develop more effective conservation strategies. For example, protecting a keystone species like a top predator or a habitat-modifying species can have cascading effects on the entire ecosystem, benefiting many other species. The classification of life is not just an academic exercise, it is a vital tool for understanding, appreciating, and protecting the incredible diversity of life on Earth. As stewards of this planet, we have a moral imperative to ensure that the tree of life continues to flourish for generations to come.